Well, we welcome you, friends, to another podcast with Trainlang. I'm very happy this morning to be with my friend Pete. How are you doing, Pete, this morning?
Good, Jonathan. Very nice. Thank you. How you doing?
Yeah, fantastic. Happy
Excellent.
just to work with you this morning. So, Pete, can you tell us what are we going to learn today?
Yeah, so today we've got a very interesting topic. We're going to learn and discuss countable and uncountable nouns, and then also how we use it in English. We use it with there is and there are, but it's important to know which nouns are countable, which nouns are uncountable, and that depends on which ones we're going to use.
Very good, excellent. Just to explain a little bit, we use there is for singular countable nouns and for the uncountable, because remember, uncountables always are singular in English, okay? And then we will use there are for the plural countable nouns. But as Pete just mentioned, if we don't know countable, uncountable, we won't be able just to form the correct form of the sentences or even the questions which we are going to learn today as well. Okay, so let's start with countable nouns. Please, Pete, can you tell us a little bit about countable nouns?
Yeah, countable nouns are really simple to count. They may be singular or plural. Let's give some examples. For singular count nouns, we use a, we use an, the, or even one. For plural count nouns, we use a number, the article the, or no article. Let's give some examples. For the singular count nouns, we can say a cat, an orange, one soldier, the recipe. Okay, so those are for singular count nouns. For plural count nouns, we talk about cats, or two oranges, 15 soldiers, the recipes. So that's the difference: singular and plural count nouns.
Very good, excellent. Yeah, so that sounds quite easy, no? So things that are simple to count. Now comes a little bit more tricky, no? Especially for English learners that come from Spanish. There are some doubts about, well, is it countable or uncountable? And for this, we need to learn sometimes the difference or exactly what do we know as uncountable. So uncountable nouns are things that generally we do not count. And this, as we explained at the beginning, always take a singular verb. Acordaros, amigos, los incontables siempre son en singular en inglés. So for this, we won't use a, and, or one with uncountable nouns. But what we can do is just use quantity words. But we will see this in another podcast. Of course, what we can use is the article the if the uncountable is something definite or specific. So these are the point is okay, and what are uncountable things? Well, we are going to share with you some tips. Okay, so Pete, can you tell us or help us? So here we have a list of food, liquids, or even fillings. Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, very good. So non-count nouns, when we're talking about food, we have examples such as beef, cheese, cereal, mayonnaise. We don't say there is one mayonnaise or there is one cereal. So this is when it comes to food. This is what we're referring to. We can't count it. It's not countable.
Mm.
And liquids is the same. We can't count liquids. We can't count water. We can count containers, but we can't actually count water. We can't count milk, coffee, gasoline. petrol, diesel, soup, gravy. That's not countable. We can't count it. And then also, when it comes to feelings, how do I feel? Or knowledge, feelings such as happy, or love, information. We don't say there are one information or there are advice. These are things that we can't actually count. It's not tangible.
All right. So then, if I say there is a cheese in the fridge,
It sounds wrong. This is
sounds
something
wrong,
there.
right? Just Matthew has I don't know, a pasta or a spaghetti in the fridge. No, it doesn't sound quite right. Okay, very good. Okay, fine. Maybe just another more information about this. No, small particles, or maybe activities, or even school subjects. No, for example, small particles. What do we mean by this? Well, rice, snow, salt, pepper, flour, so sugar, or even hair. Right? Well, we don't talk about hair if Matthew is listening. Right? Just okay. Then we have activities and sports, like, for example, subject that many of us love, no, soccer, or tennis, reading, no, dancing, skating. Very good. And then school subjects. This is interesting, no? Just because in Spanish it's a little bit different, no? Sometimes we can use this in Spanish and in other forms, no? But for example, math, no? or physics, okay, or chemistry, or English, literature, things like this. All these school subjects are uncountable. Good. So now that we know the difference between countable and uncountable, we need to know, okay, how do I use there is and there are with, in this case, there is with singular, countable nouns and uncountable. So can you just explain this a little bit to our friends, Pete?
Yeah, absolutely. So in positive sentences, singular nouns, we use there is plus nouns, prepositions. Let's give some examples. Remember now, this is a singular noun, eh? So there is a cat on the bed. Okay, it's a singular noun. There's one cat. There is a cat on the bed. Or there is a girl in the photo. There is a tree in the front yard. There is a car in the street. So that's using there is with just a singular noun. Changes when it comes to plural nouns. Now we're using quantifiers. For example, there are apples in the fridge. These are plural nouns, okay? Or, for example, in the room, there are 2 pillows on the bed. There are many people at the gym. So just a few examples using there is and there are with singular nouns and plural nouns and how to use them.
So maybe now just we can explain then just how to use there is with uncountable nouns. No, so remember, no, some nouns in English are uncountable, so we can't count snow, rain, water, or milk. So we use there is with this uncountables, even if we use a quantifier like some or a lot of. No, so we can say, well, there's water in the fridge. Not there is a water, but there is water. Okay, good. Or there is some snow on the trees. No, we can use here some. No, just there is some as a quantifier. No, there is some snow on the trees. Or there is a lot of rice on the plate. No? There's a lot of rice on the plate. So there is with water, with snow, with rice, because those are and countable. So that's fine. Good. Okay, so we have just analyzed or just considered there are with affirmative sentences, but Pete, can you help us? How would we use there is and there are in the question form?
Yeah, interesting. So we just changed the sentence around a little bit. We begin the sentence with the be verb. Okay, so there is the normal pattern for the simple present tense questions with be. In the singular noun and non-count nouns, we ask the question, is there a textbook on the desk? So instead of there is a textbook on the desk as a statement, we now change it into a question form with the be verb as the subject. Is there a textbook on the desk? Is there a boy on the playground? Is there sand on the beach? And then with the plural nouns, the same thing. Instead of saying there are errors in my essay, in the question form, are there errors in my essay? Maybe Matt might be asking this question: are there any cookies in the cabinets? So we need to watch out for Matthew there.
Yeah.
Or another example is, are there any good shows on TV? So it just changes. The be verb starts at the beginning of the sentence.
Very good. Excellent. So just to explain a little bit to our A-2 students who might still find this difficult, I will explain this a little bit in Spanish to conclude. Amigos, acordaos que los contables o los countable nouns son aquellos elementos que pueden ser contados y lo hacemos utilizando números o la forma a, an. Porque los podemos contar. Pero los uncountable nouns son los elementos que no podemos contar utilizando números, pero sí que podemos utilizar cuantificadores. Okay. Entonces los podemos cuantificar. Okay. Así que de esta forma podemos utilizar el there is o el there are de la forma correcta. So, Pete, excellent. Well, I think we have covered then this section. Thank you very much for your help.
Jonathan.
So, tell us, Pete, if our friends wants to learn more, where can they go?
Yeah, they can go to campus.trainlang.com. And again, lots of teachers are available, ready to assist them. There's a lot of information available, podcasts. It's a great website to go to for information, and of course, all the teachers will be really happy to help our listeners.
Fantastic. Well, Pete, see you next time. Bye,
Good,
amigos.
thanks, Jonathan. Bye, amigos.